So what we're doing today, George, is we're finishing off the growing season here and putting the bird netting on. Not every vineyard has to do this, but unfortunately we're in a location, and fortunately because we've got lots of wildlife that's around here and a lot of different birds, and so if we don't do the netting, the birds basically just clean it out before it even gets ripe. So it's not an option. As you can see, it's very labor intensive, and the nets are not cheap either, and so it adds a significant cost to the production of the wine, but it's just something we have to do. So one of the processes that we have to do, George, before we can get into this netting is that throughout the springtime and summertime here, these vines, even though we tuck them in the wires, there's a significant amount of canes that come over into the middle of the row here. And so in order to get the nets on, we have to go through and we have to hedge it basically and get rid of those canes that are overhanging too far. Also, those canes have a tendency to shade some of the fruit too, and so we want to eliminate those so that we get plenty of exposure to wind and whatnot to eliminate the mildew issues.
So we've lived here 30 years. This used to be Jeff's grandparents' property. They bought it from some Finns in San Francisco who had it turned into a resort. They had saunas and swimming pools and dance halls scattered all over the property. It was a lot of fun for the Finns. It's a kind of fun history for us. We raised our boys here, Andre and Mikkel, and they have enjoyed every aspect of vineyard and winemaking the whole way through, from planting to harvesting and everything in between.
So this time of the year is the grapes are now in the process of aeration, which is when, for red grapes, basically they start to color up and they start getting into their level where they're going to start producing sugar now, which is what we basically need for making wine. And it's normally, rule of thumb is about 45 days after veraison begins, and so we're about 2 weeks into veraison now. So I'm guessing we'll probably harvest this year around the end of September, which is about 2 to 3 weeks earlier than normal. So which is great for us here, and looking forward to it. We just saw a bird trying to get in. So that's that. We're making progress. See, what the hell did they do here? The hell did they do here? You got this thing all crossed up.